Let's do this.
So, okay, the next update is the update that we know that so many of you, and well, so many of us as well, has been wanting for such a long time. It's the Caves and Cliffs update.
It must feel amazing to be...
Yeah, so as you can see here, I mean, this is drastically different to what caves used to look like. And there's definitely still the old style of caves, but we wanted to make sure that there was much more variety in the sort of caves and the shapes and the sizes you could get. And even here, you can see that there's some water underground.
Yes, so we actually added something we call local water levels. So in one cave might find like a cave lake, and another cave might not have that one. And this also means that we get naturally generated waterfalls, which is so pretty. And it also kind of gives like new ways to traverse the underground. You can actually go cave rafting.
Yeah, so you'll see in a bit that our player here will actually use a boat to raft. And that is just such an exciting opportunity to be able to traverse the caves in a very different way than you used to.
Yeah, we were playtesting, and then one of the devs like, look at this, it's so fun, and all of us just started to go with the boat on the waterfalls. It was a lot of fun.
So another thing to note here is that you could see that a lot of the ores were actually glowing during caves biome. And whenever I think about the idea of a cave update, the image of stalagmites and stalactites comes into my head. But adding these are pretty difficult. You know, it's a very unique shape that Minecraft isn't really accustomed to. But I think the way that the artist put it into Minecraft works quite well. And of course, there's some mechanics surrounding this. So you can see that someone destroyed the block up the top, and so the dripstone fell down. And also, unfortunately for this zombie here, if you fall on that, it's basically this growth, and this is called the Sculk blocks. And one of the blocks is called the Sculk sensor. This is the new Redstone block. As you can see, when you place or destroy a block, or if you have footsteps, it'll actually detect the vibrations around and then emit a redstone signal. So this is going to be very interesting for redstone players. We even have a mechanic around it where you can actually use wool with wool occlusion to essentially prevent signals from being able to get into the Sculk sensor. So let's take a look at that now. And as you can see here, I walked next to the Sculk sensor, and it's actually kind of doing an infinite loop where the piston is causing a vibration, and then it's activating the Sculk sensor and going over and over again. But here, I've actually put a wool block in between the piston, which prevents the signal from going to the Sculk sensor. This can allow you to even do sort of directional Sculk sensors where you can put wool blocks on each side and only allow it to detect vibrations in front of it. And vibrations can be so many different things. You know, it can be a snowball hit, it could be an arrow, it could be footsteps, it could be blocks, anything.
So cool.
Yeah.
And another thing, we had a bit of a happy accident with this, because we realized that we get wireless redstone thanks to the Sculk sensor.
Yes.
So, and we didn't even plan to add it, but then when we started playtesting, we're like, wait, we got wireless redstone, and that's so exciting. And
you're very quiet, and watch closely for the warden.
What did we just see?
It's a very different mob. I'm really excited for this because not only is it trying to be scary, it's, we had to keep a balance to it. It was very challenging to design a mob like this. Another thing that's really important to note is in that video, I was wearing full netherite armor.
Side of the Caves and Cliffs update. Goats. They're both mischievous and adorable at the same time. As you can see, they live on the mountains, and if you aren't careful, they might knock you off. They also have excellent jumping skills. We'll also get better mountain generation with spectacular and more dramatic mountains with height-dependent generation. That means things like tree lines and mountaintops that will be more challenging with lots of snow and ice. And speaking of snow, yes, it will be snowier. We will also have a new block called powder snow, which will be a kind of trap block. It looks similar to snow, but if you or a mob walk on it, you will fall right through.
Hey, I'm Dan TDM, and I would love to know what kind of combat mechanic changes are being made to Minecraft Java Edition.
Yes, and that's an excellent question. We currently have a problem that on the two different editions of the game, there are different combat mechanics or combat systems, and that's bad both for us as designers that have to take both systems into account, but also bad for the community that wants to have the same experience. So the main objective is to reach parity. But I still want to make sure that we make a system that is kind of fits with the building and that doesn't distract too much from building, but still gives us this depth that allows us to design interesting behaviors. Also, I want to make sure that it works both good in both player versus environment.
Capabilities. So over the summer, everyone in Mojang Studios was given tomato seeds to try and grow a tomato plant at home. So I thought that was kind of the perfect inspiration to go make a crop. So you can interact and place the seeds, use the crops. See, they're kind of growing. We got a couple of them getting to the flower stage. Got a few now that I can actually go pick. So in this case, I've made them work like the sweet berry bush, where you can just right-click on them. But I think tomatoes taste disgusting, so I thought it was better to make them as something you can throw. So Quinn and I had some fun. We were throwing them around. It's harmless, or sort of harmless.
Yeah, totally harmless.
Yeah.
You knocked me into the lava.
That was so mean.
Mostly by accident. But tomatoes will actually rot on the vine as well, and if they rot for too long, you get a little rotten tomato monster that can spawn from it. So I'm gonna fight him off here. But yeah, he throws rotten tomatoes. They don't fly as far as a regular tomato, but they knock you back a lot more. But kind of based off all this stuff, I think tomatoes maybe aren't the best idea. So I'm going to get rid of all my plants and never grow them again.
So yeah, I agree with you on this one.
But
So all
they're
these,
so healthy.
it's true, they are pretty healthy. So with combinations of features to make some like really cool, like adventurous maps.
Yeah. Like, for example, the little adventure that we can show you, where we were going to the desert, and then we found this mysterious golden skull, and also an equally mysterious pedestal in the middle of the desert. So we decided to place our golden skull over there and see what happened. And yes, we have a mountain that is hollow. And as the brave warriors that we are, we went exploring, and obviously we found some creepy monsters inside. Luckily, we have our trusty custom sword to fight them off.
Oh, that helps.
I'm not sure if we even survived that.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very safe.
No, not at all.
But that pedestal, I know that's one of the most requested features, block models.
Yeah.
Item lock. I don't know if you found yourself sometimes just going through some content and you have this special item and then you die and you lose it, or maybe you drop it accidentally. Now we've made it so that creators can actually lock something on your inventory, so that when you die or you press Q, it won't go away. That way you don't lose your mysterious golden skull to unlock the
nest stage.
So nice.
I was gonna say that makes it super easy because I've definitely been in an adventure map and I lost the key on accident, and then I had to go and try and fix that.
Yes.
And then when you place the skull, there was a lot going on.
Results of the first round of voting are in. The round which determined which mob's dreams would be dashed, with no hope of making it into the final round. And it was intense. But sadly, let's all say a fond farewell to the poor Moo Bloom. Then forget it ever existed, because it's time to vote again. We are now down to the Isolager and the Glow Squid. And in the first round, they were quite close. I'm quite interested to see where the voters of the Moo Bloom will go. If you missed the first round of voting, make sure...
Yeah. Well, speaking of aliens, I know our team put together a really cool sci-fi parkour map that, they made you run through, Jason.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they knew this when they asked me to run through it, but I'm pretty awful at parkour. So it took a few tries to get a clean run through. But at the beginning here, it's a pretty typical sort of parkour map of running and jumping, but we definitely have some twists up ahead. And here's kind of the first one of, even I know I can't make that jump. So let's see what's in the chest. And we got a Sliminator. So I'm pretty sure you know what to do here. So now, hopefully, I will jump and be able to clear this gap. And please, yes. Make it up. So to get teleported to the next section, kind of make it along and see what next obstacle we have. So now I know the chests have useful things in them. So we got a Blockinator. And we'll throw that across and get a little platform. Now I can make this jump. Even I can make that jump. And we got the hot dog, or the cyber dog, and float up. But it poisoned me, so I needed to use the antidote to rescue me there. Make it across and get through here. Now we got a wall in the way, so let's see what tool we have to get through the wall. And insta presto, and get through here. Keep going along. And this should be our last obstacle here. But I can see the teleport pad, but I can't quite get to it. But that shaft up above looks promising, along with the ladder. So let's go up, see what we get here. Fall down. And block breaks, I can get to the teleporter. And Fanny's already there.
You made it.
Yeah, finally.
Wow, that's super
86
cool.
times.
I love the
pretty good.
aesthetic of that too as well, like all the art and things. So those teleport blocks.
Remember, GDL will not be held responsible in the event of a likely death. Your descent will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Including the journey underground, but of course we also want to add like new things to find, like new resources, and one of them are crystals.
They're so beautiful.
Yes, that the moment you turn the corner and you see that glowing thing, that's so, it's
Like
incredible.
The atmosphere in the crystal geode,
Yes.
it's like mystical. Telescope. And that's also a new thing that we added. It's copper!
That's amazing.
Yes. It's new ore. And you saw the copper ore in the video. And a very interesting thing with the copper ore is that it generates in a different way. So normal ores often generate like an ore blob, but copper is different. So imagine that you are out mining and you see copper ore. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna mine the copper. And then you see some stone. It's like, they look a bit different. So you continue to mine. And then you find another copper ore. And you probably go like, okay, I think I found a copper vein. And it's something, I think it's so cool because it actually adds history to Minecraft. Because, for example, if you have a really old Minecraft world, then you can see on like a house and like, oh, the roof turned all green. And then you know that that house has been there for a really long time.
And copper won't only be used for the telescope. You actually have another really cool thing that you'll be able to craft with it.
Yeah. So Jens talked a bit before about these design principles that we have in Minecraft. And one of them is that if something bad happens, the player either caused it or it has a way to sort of avoid it. And one of those exceptions, for example, is lightning striking. Now, some people like to build wooden roofs in Minecraft. Some even build wall roofs.
Looking at me,
Right.
it's not at all like the grandest castle in my realm actually has a roof fully built of wool.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
No,
but
we did get some fires.
yeah, so to try to help the players with that, we are introducing the lightning rod.
Trouble with their inventory and the amount of items, but you have an idea for that.
Yes. So as you know, we keep adding new blocks and new items all the time, and that do create a bit of an inventory problem. And we're aware of that, and we have actually been thinking quite a lot how we can solve it, because we want to have like a good gameplay solution. We want it to be balanced, and we actually have an item in this update that will be really helpful, and it's the bundles.
Bundles.
Items in one inventory slot. So for example, I can take those 2 flowers and 1 seed and put them in one bundle. It's great.
And you can kind of use them like presents too.
Oh yes, I'm so excited about seeing what players do them in like shopping district. In this system, you're basically going to find these excavation sites all throughout your world. And you can make this new tool called the brush that is going to help you uncover the mysteries of all these dig sites. So you come to one of these ancient structures and you can sort of use the brush to clear away some of the rubble that may have collapsed in those structures. And sometimes you might even find something shiny inside them. But, and this is important, if you are not careful enough, like in real life, you can destroy that artifact. And when that artifact is gone, that artifact and all the secrets it held are gone forever. But if you're careful enough, if you take your time and you're deliberate, you can get some of those hidden artifacts. And for example, here we got a ceramic shard, which is basically how whoever lived here used to tell and pass on their stories.
I love the story sides of the archaeology, because we often talk about that we want to deepen the mystery in Minecraft. And when you find these hidden artifacts, you kind of find like connections and hints. And we will never tell the full story, but these will inspire the players to tell their own stories about their own Minecraft worlds.
Exactly. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what players do with them. For example, here we see an exhibition that someone built for this, where he can compare all the different clues he finds, right, and try to preserve whatever was down here, and he can compare what we found with whatever new thing, and sort of try to connect the pieces, right? And here we see those pieces connected in a clay pot, actually trying to reconstruct them back. And you can create that however you like. You can create your own stories or try to guess how those pieces used to connect.
Yeah. It's also so fun to be very creative with these new pots, because you can put the shards in any way you want.
Exactly. And when you're pleased with your creation, you can fire them up and you have your own painted clay pot.
It's pretty. So, Nir, is this programmer art still?
Yeah, the art we're seeing is still work in progress, but I personally like the dragon. I think it's cute.
Yeah, it didn't say programmer art isn't pretty.
Yeah, you know, the problem is the artists
like
are...
3 or 4 times. So are you going to tell us about it now,
Yes,
please?
now we're gonna tell you. It's the cutest predator you will ever meet.
I feel like there's only one sound I can make after seeing that, which is like...
Cute.
It's so adorable. The axolotls.
How did you decide on axolotls?
So, when we add a new mob to Minecraft,
And now I see why you're calling them the cutest predator.
you're gonna know before everyone else.
It's the glow squid!
Wow.
I guess everyone was mesmerized by the glow squid, not just the tiny ones.
No,
I
wow.
was really not expecting that. That is so awesome.
Yes, like I didn't expect it at all, but it's great. And glow squids will look so cool in the caves. Like
Exactly.
the atmosphere.
They fit this update
Yes.
so well.
Like it will be. Imagine it's just all dark in the caves, and then you see the glow squids swimming around. It will be so good.
Beautiful. Can they be friends with the axolotls?
The axolotls are predators, so I'm not sure.
The
We'll
axolotls
see.
might actually attack
Got
you.
the caves and the cliffs update.
It's a good question. So we plan to release it summer 2021. And this actually is really good. As I mentioned in the beginning of the show, we really want to have a lot of time to work together with